If you are single,
Oh boy.
and you desire to get married, and you want to build something with your gifts and your talents, start now. Don't wait, because eventually you're gonna have a fiance, you're gonna get married, and that time to create something just dwindles. If you have something you want to build now, start today, especially if you are single. But then, ever so often, you find that person. You find the person that God has created to walk with you and to create something with you. And then that vision even becomes even greater and even more grand. And today, this is what we're going to talk about. He is no stranger to the Creative Den Pod. He's here on the second time. This is my guy, Isaiah Grissum, and his lovely fiance, Tatyana. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man.
Like, you guys think like Akin is Akin, but
Was that intro her or you? Was it both of y'all?
It's just a ghostwriter.
no.
I thought Drake was dead.
Oh,
He's still.
Oh, I need this type of woman. Or I need this. You sure you need that type of? You get a certain type of woman, but
You said it, I did.
yeah.
By the way, I'm gonna preface this. This is not a relationship podcast, but
Yeah. No, this is an important. This is
it
an
is.
important topic
is.
subject.
How serious he is he just a man of words or is he a man of action?
Like you're talking about how it's so important to start. It's so important to get on the trail or to be intentional, because whoever God has for you, they got questions.
yeah,
But you can't allow the possibility of someone else's thought
great.
to deter what you're going to do.
We're in the healthcare as well, and now you guys are bringing that together
Yes.
to build something.
Yeah.
Let's go into it. Welcome to the Creative Den, bro.
Man, it's
Thank you
been,
for having me.
What, 6 short months, and you are, whew. You got a journalism degree in that
I
6
do
months?
not. But something happened.
Oh my God.
Something clicked when
Yeah, man.
in the middle of doing all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is why I tell people, create content. It's gonna change your life. It has changed mine.
It makes you accountable.
Yes, it does.
It forces you to get better every day.
Definitely.
And man, not saying that you were bad, but dang. All right, bro.
It was kinda giving that
It was
a
kind of
little
lit. It was that.
Yeah.
Appreciate
That's
it.
what's up.
At some point, I was terrible. I was.
Awesome, though.
We all
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
and still
You
are.
gotta
in a
start
lot of
somewhere.
areas.
Yeah. And then you build. Eventually, you get to a place where it's like, okay, there's something here, but I still have to get better.
Yeah.
And that's where I am. I think it was about 2 years ago when I was like, okay, I have something when it comes to this video production space. Even though I've been doing this for 8 years, it was until my 6th year doing it that I was like, I have something to offer, because I've taken that time to learn what I'm
Yeah.
supposed to do.
Man,
Yeah,
you're growing exponentially, man.
appreciate it, bro.
Glad to see the process and the growth and everything, man.
Thank you,
Your
sir.
pod, all the episodes have been great, consistent, and just enjoying the partnership as we
Yeah.
talk about offline all the time. Is we just enjoy enjoy the process,
Yeah.
and we enjoy our genuine relationship as we walk on our own journeys with our own families, companies, and so forth and so on, man.
Yeah.
Loving it, dude.
Appreciate it, bro. Yeah. Excited for you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Excited.
for
Welcome to the
having
pod for the
us.
first time.
I know. I'm kind of nervous a little bit.
It's all good. It is all good.
Yeah.
So tell us, you recently just moved
Yes.
back to Phoenix,
I did.
Arizona.
I did.
Yeah. Tell
Yeah.
us about that whole process. You went to Tucson for 2.5 years.
Yeah, I did. So I went in Tucson for medical school. Then I decided to take a break with medical school, and that's what led me back to Phoenix. Tucson was a really great experience. I really loved everybody I got to meet and build relations with. And just the city of Tucson, too, it's very family oriented.
Nice.
And they really promote small businesses as well. So it's just a vibe in Tucson for sure.
Yeah.
Good food too.
Yes, I didn't even know they considered themselves a city of gastronomy.
Yeah.
So And even the chimichanga was
Yeah.
made there. Did y'all know that?
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
It originated in Tucson?
Yes. That's the
wild.
story.
Because everyone thinks of Tucson as just the place you never want to go to when you come to Arizona. Typically.
The dirty tea. But
Yeah.
it's a gem for sure. And then I came back to Phoenix and kind of just started to really appreciate family even more, being away from them for a bit. And then you'd be like, oh, wow. And then, I'm just happy to be back and
Yeah.
still doing what I love, but in a different lane.
Different way, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
And you're with this guy.
Yes.
Owns a small business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big business. I won't call it small.
Yeah,
We're doing big things. We have big visions, for what we're doing. So, yeah.
I like to say that she is the foundation, the cornerstone. I don't like to think of it as like a puzzle piece because it sounds like I'm trying to say that I have control over it.
Right.
I'm glad that I've gotten to the point in my journey to where I was able to meet her where she was on her journey. And if I wasn't at the point that I was supposed to be in my journey, we wouldn't have crossed paths.
Missed each other.
And that's the most important thing about our relationship is it has developed a more intimate relationship with myself and God. And I see how the interconnectedness of it is. And it motivates me on a daily basis to maintain healthy relationship with God.
Yeah.
And then that trickles down into
sure.
our intimate relationships with spouse, family, business partnerships, and so forth and so on. So, she is, I like to call her you know how they have like the briefcase with all the codes? Yeah, like I feel like she is, if I need to go there, she's the person. So I'm very blessed to have her in my life, and so excited for all that is in store.
Right.
And is going to be birthed out of this.
Definitely. No, that's good, man. I started this podcast saying if you are single and you desire to get married, and this is why. There's something we're going to get to in the middle of this episode somewhere. Before we get there, we've been working together for 2 years-ish.
Oh, you mean like on a daily basis type thing? Yeah.
But obviously we go back, years prior to that. But we've been working more consistently. And then we started this new side of things for iGuru called the Brand Showcase.
Yes. Yes.
And we've been sitting down with business owners, brands, and just talking through their story. Walk us through how that's been going.
The brand showcases, I love the fact of the matter that I'm able to go into business or brand or showcase first the genuine relationship. And I think that is cornerstone of good business, of pushing economy forward, but also continuing to add value into the space is first relationship. When I do consult with individuals that are focused on money, I try to get them to see that money is almost irrelevant in comparison to creating genuine relationship and making sure to focus on actually adding value. So the brand showcases is highlighting relationship, value, and gritty, day-to-day, nothing fancy, nothing scammy, if you will. I really want people to see what it really looks like in the day-to-day. I don't have any favorites per se because the ones that we've been able to do I've been blessed to be able to do them with a couple of my family members, which I'm very proud of. But their primary professions aren't their businesses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for me, that's a huge part of not only economy, but it's almost the American way. It is what has made America the focal point of the world, per se, is the approach to business and moving the community forward by incentivizing those of us who are trying to push the envelope, trying to do a little more.
Right.
We're not okay with status quo.
Right.
We want to see things become better.
Totally.
So that's what the brand showcases are all about. It's about highlighting real stories and seeing how we can extract from those real stories to move the space forward exponentially. And that's what my brand is all about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And that's cool. You talked about it's not about the financial gain.
yeah.
You know, a lot of people see success as financial gain. How would you describe success?
Okay. So if we're going to go with the definition of the word, I don't think I'm too far off when I say success would be meeting the mark, whatever the mark is. So with that definition in and of itself, if you're meeting a mark that someone else has told you, are you really successful? I think real success it has a lot to do with your relationship with whatever your calling is.
Gotcha.
Whatever God has really placed within you.
Yeah.
And bringing that to life, walking that journey. I think I mentioned this in the first podcast that we did together, but one of my favorite books, and yours as well, babe, is The Alchemist. And the moral of the premise of the book is don't miss out on the journey, because the journey is the prize.
Yeah.
The process is the prize.
Process is the prize.
Yeah, it's a book
good.
that you can definitely reread. At no matter what stage you are in life, you will extract something different from that book.
That's really cool, because I've been saying this recently. I wrote it in the ebook, actually.
Awesome.
It's,
Congrats on that, by
thank
the
you.
way.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. It's not like it's up. I haven't pushed it out yet. By the time this airs, it's probably gonna be out.
Man, you have so many products that yeah.
But I write it in the ebook, about becoming. The process of becoming is about doing the thing. Once you start doing the thing, you start becoming the person that does the thing.
Yeah.
And as you become the person that does the thing, you're continuing to do the thing. It's a cycle.
Yes.
Right? And I bring it from this from Matthew 25, just about the talents, right? And then Luke 12:48, which is about to whom much is given, much is required. And it's a cycle that goes, the guy that had 10 talents already, God gave him the one, or the master gave him the one from the guy that hid it on the ground. He didn't give it to the person that had 8. He gave it to the one that already had the most. So it's about like, the more you have, the more is required. So you already have more, so therefore more is required of you.
Yes.
Once more is required of you, you have more is required of you.
I'm coining a saying right now. I've just been saying it a lot.
Yeah.
Is we're going to make basic math great again. Because
No.
let me unpack that. Let me unpack that. So, like you said, much is given, much is required. Okay, someone has 8. Okay, you're required. That 8 needs to flip. That 8 needs to be another 8. It needs to be 16.
Right.
That should be base requirement. And that person with 1 needs to have 2.
2. Right.
You guys are that accordingly.
Yeah.
Ratios. That's what I mean by that, babe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even Matthew, they'll say they were given according to their ability.
Yes.
You know, and so that's what.
And we've all been gifted with a measure.
Yes.
He won't put more on us than we can bear.
Right.
You're not going to require your child to do more than what you know she can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And having that childlike relationship with the Creator and requiring that of yourself. It's knowing and trusting that I'm not supposed to do nothing that's going to kill me.
True.
I'm just required to do my best.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally. No, that's good. That's good stuff. And then tag it along with, you know, when you do that stuff, you elevate in your skills and your ability. Once you elevate to that level, the more is required of you from that level.
Yeah.
Right? So you go 8 + 8, 16, get to the next level.
Yeah.
From there, get to the next level.
And then somewhere along that journey, you meet that person.
Exactly. Yes. And then you start to build something, you know. And the reason I started with, if you are single, start to build. You've been doing that. You started when you were single,
Yeah.
you know, and eventually you met the person. Because a lot of times people try to focus on, I just want to meet the person.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to preface this. This is not a relationship podcast, but
Yeah. No, this is an important topic, subject though. Yeah.
Totally. When you build something and then you find the person and then that person, your vision is so big that that person is able to come alongside you
Yeah.
and implement, either help her build her own vision too, or you guys build something together.
First off, love that you asked this question. So my scales were off my eyes to see and notice when I developed certain characteristics. So when I was at a certain point in my journey, I was at that point in my journey where I was starting to learn more of what I wasn't and my deficiencies, if you will.
Gotcha.
What I didn't have, what I needed support in. I was more so being able to see myself fragmented in a sense. And it was like the Creator was showing me everything that I wasn't. It was weird, but it was very articulate. And now I know I have to fight for this because this is my lifeline. If I'm fragmented,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so it kind of governs how I move. It governs how I move forward. It governs how I interact. Because I cannot afford to damage not only what I think is myself, but what we are together, and then what God wants to birth out of this.
That's important.
And that's a scary responsibility.
Sure.
It's a scary responsibility, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And obviously we're almost across the altar. But there's so much that I've learned, so much growth.
Yeah.
And I don't want to damage that in any way.
Because then you learn that everything that you're not, she is.
Scary.
Yeah. And then same with me. Everything that I'm not, my wife possesses, which is crazy. And then you guys kind of like just this thing, and you just come together and it just fits properly. You know, I'm not the entertainer at the house. My wife is. She's social when it comes to that. You know,
Funny too.
I could go out and be about and like do all that. She would rather be in the house with people, you know. So it's like we are opposites in that way.
Yeah.
And it works. You know. So
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
what would you say about that? The whole being pursued part of our relationship, what that looked like.
I have my blinders on too, just because of like the sense of us like being friends first, and me enjoying our friendship, and then me kind of having that like, oh, I miss talking to my friend, right? And those feelings start to develop. But also like praying and having a conversation as well, like with God on like how is this person playing a role in my life? Like why am I yearning to talk to this person more, you know? So, and that is more so kind of honestly like taking that leap of faith of like, well, let's see like what his intentions are, how serious he is. Is he just a man of words or is he a man of action? You know, can he meet my expectation but also exceed them and what I want as a significant other?
You mentioned something. She mentioned something that stuck out to me, and I'll probably always remember it. But you used to, or you've said in times past that the thing that stuck out to you was what I would talk to you about, family.
Yes.
And passion towards like actual legacy and building something.
Yeah. And I think especially like being in your 20s, a lot of us like are career driven. Like we're really trying to get to the bag, like trying to figure out how exactly we're going to function in society and survive in society. But his aim, he always talked about family and what he wanted his family structure to look like. And that intrigued me because I'm like, that's not a lot of conversations I'm having with men in particular. Like friends, yes, and like what we will want. But for somebody who I considered a friend or still consider a friend, right? And then like someone that eventually told me like, hey, I would like us to be more than friends, to talk about family and that nature was something new and stuck out to me and made me like, wow, like he's very intentional, you know?
Yeah.
Which I've at the time, like it's rare to encounter someone that not only focuses on like being experimental in the sense of like career-wise, but also with family, it's very structured and, you know, it's not I do this, you do this. It's a blend.
It's a blend.
And I mentioned that, Akin, to bring up the point of like you're talking about how it's so important to start. It's so important to get on the trail or to be intentional because whoever God has for you, they got questions.
Yeah.
They got questions, man.
Got questions. A
And
lot of them.
Their families have questions.
A lot.
Their fathers have questions. Their mothers have questions. Your families have questions. And if you're not being intentional, and we haven't even crossed the altar yet, but that the process of being intentional in your life and really being serious, at least you don't have to be, you know, stiff and stern and antisocial, but being intentional in your life, whatever it is that you're doing, start working on something because every day that you take a break on your passions or whatever it is that you need to be you need to be working on, you're putting yourself and your future on hold.
Facts. This is true. And it's crazy because even when I met my wife, Adriana, like I'd already started the business. I was 2 years into it. 2 years into doing video production, 2 years into all of that. And prior to even meeting her, because I was more heavy in dance back then, I was dancing a lot more. In my head, I always thought I was going to marry a dancer.
Yeah.
You know? And
I thought I was going to marry a singer.
Right?
Yeah. And in hindsight, looking back, I'm like, thank you, Lord. Because now that I'm here, I can't picture, you know, having a dancer wife.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that for whoever that is for, but for me and where I am heading,
And what you're building.
it's totally different. You know, there's no way it would have worked. And then now that's saying that, she, she worked, you know, in the State Department for 4.5 years.
Yeah.
And now taking the sacrifice to be home with the kids.
Yeah.
You know, and saying that, okay, I'm gonna help you with this business and come alongside with you because she has seen some of the things that we're doing and we're working on.
Yeah.
And believes in that as well, bro.
I mean,
It
first,
fuels me.
God is crazy.
Yeah.
God
so
is
brave of her.
is like a mad scientist,
Right.
because we were talking about it earlier. If you look back on the processes and the experiences, and we're still young. All of us are still young, and we got so much life ahead of us, so many challenges, so many struggles
Yeah.
to still meet, so many ups and downs. But being able to get to checkpoints and like understand at that checkpoint that I now have a deeper level of trust in God because
Right.
I see this, and I know another storm is coming, but this situation has strengthened my faith.
Yeah.
This situation has made me closer to Him. I grew up in church. Literally every day. We had prayer every day. Our prayer, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't start praying every day again until I started pursuing Tatyana.
Facts.
I put myself on fast. like I need, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
not to go off on a tangent, but your point is this is not a relationship podcast. I'm not professing to know anything. I don't think you
No.
are. No, we're strictly talking about what we've experienced and the point we are at right now.
Yeah.
But I will say this, like, it has strengthened my relationship with God, and it also gives me clearer vision. It's like goggles, man.
Yeah.
It's like the more healthy your relationships are, the more focused you are, the further into the future you can see. And now I have a different understanding of leadership. It's like, oh, my leadership is connected to the health of my relationship with God and the relationship with my.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is wild.
This is
Okay,
wild.
okay,
Yeah.
let me go get the ring.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
okay, let me get this in order. Let me get that in order.
Yeah, that's crazy because I remember when you did that, and
Oh, yeah.
and you told me the story. You're like, man, I'm about to go get the ring.
Yeah.
You know, and then you described it to me, and I was like, bro, that's so exciting. You know,
Yeah.
and then seeing you guys go to Florida.
Yeah.
You know, proposing the video, dope.
Thanks, man.
Proud of you. Excited for you guys.
Thank
and
you.
where God is taking you.
Thanks,
and
man.
bringing you to, and into this next season of you guys coming together and building something significant. You know, you've been in the healthcare profession, social work profession. You were in the healthcare as well, you know, and now you guys are bringing that together
Yes.
to build something.
Yeah.
You know, let's go into it.
Do you want to talk about like your passions behind healthcare and all that?
So like my undergrad is in healthcare delivery or healthcare pre-professional, right? Health sciences. And my master's in healthcare delivery. So my mom's a nurse practitioner. So I feel like just growing up and seeing like the passion of healthcare and like being from an underrepresented community, and you see the barriers and the systemic things that are in place to make it difficult to access care and also to have people more hesitant to access care. So I definitely knew that like healthcare and wanting to make it better for those who may have felt like healthcare was never for them or the system was not set up to serve them was something that I wanted to help chip away at. And that even though we are in like the 21st century, there's still so many things that are in place and so many statistics that are upsetting that you're like, how is this even possible when we have this advancement of technology? We still have women dying who are pregnant with due to like high blood pressure, you know? So I know, like, in talking with Isaiah about, like, my passion for people who come from different communities who may be there due to, like, redlining or due to whatever the case may be, I wanted to create something for them that they can go and feel comfortable receiving care, because they see people from their community representing their community, and they're not just stepping in and saying, like, hey, you do this.
For sure.
So she's like Mother Tatyana.
Yeah.
She this is our relationship in terms of our vision. She's Mother Tatyana, and I'm the bulldog that will figure out everything else. The strategist. So my real passions, obviously, primarily is music, but I am, and this will become more and more evident as the years go along, but I am a lover of people. I love the heck out of people. And whether it's mentorship, whether it's community resource, whether it is education, I want to provide a space where everyone has a certain level of access. And I know there's a lot that goes into that in terms of legislation. I know there's a lot that goes into that in terms of actual funding. We are in a insurance-driven society.
Bigger corporations, for sure.
We gonna get deep. Like, this is gonna get real deep, man.
That's too
Let's
much.
go.
There's small time drug dealers, and then there's large time drug dealers. There's is an epidemic. We are in an addicted society. I don't know what the actual statistics are. I'm sure Mother Tatyana has them, though. On the percentages out of every 10 people, how many people are actually on some sort of daily medication.
Yeah.
And then education. And all these things play into the not so evident realities that we deal with on a daily basis.
For sure.
So I think the vision more or less is creating some sort of entity to where we can meet each of those marks in some way, whether it's mentorship, whether it is access and resource, just like iGuru. I'm a middleman. I can get you to where you need to go. I'm not going to provide you with the videography service, but I have relationship with where you can get that done. Whether it is medical care, psychiatric care, spiritual care,
wraparound services,
so housing, day
like
programs, access to real education, not doctored, how do I say, for-profit education or the lack thereof, and so forth and so on. So this is more or less, in a nutshell, what the vision is. There's a lot more to unpack, but
definitely want to be like a hub, a safe hub, right?
Yeah.
That's disseminating accurate information that's digestible for those who seek it.
That's really cool. I like that. And I know earlier when we were at the dinner table having dinner, my wife said something about an app, and maybe she was saying something else about someone else.
I think she was being
But
prophetic.
I think she was also being prophetic in a sense that I see this as an app. You know what I mean? Like you said, like a hub, but an app where people could come to. This is what I need. This is my information. This is, and then you send them. This is where you need to go to.
Absolutely, and God birthed the vision. So I mean, however it's going to look in whether it's 5 or 20 years, it's going to happen. It's going to be relevant to the modern landscape, whatever that looks like. We're going to definitely keep up. So I'm sure there's going to be some sort of sort of app or easy access entry point and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
We'll do our best to be excellent in that sense.
I know. I like that though. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, nah, that's great. That's awesome that you guys are coming together and putting both of your expertise,
Yeah.
the vision that God has given you guys to be able to steward and carry, this to the next level. Like you said, a lot of times people see things as it has to happen right now in order for it to be successful. But there's a lot that goes into something like this. There's a lot of planning, and that foundation is equally as important as the thing that you actually build.
Yeah.
And actually, even more important, because if you don't have a strong foundation,
Yeah.
it's going to tip over and fall. And so I think that's what you guys are doing. You're laying down the foundation for something that is really important to today, to whenever it comes out, because everyone is going to need healthcare. Everyone is going to need some kind of psychiatric care. Everyone needs this at whatever time of their life.
Everyone needs spiritual upkeep.
Yep.
And like you said, I say this all the time, but that love for taking it day by day, giving your best each day, but taking it day by day, because you didn't come up with the vision. God did, man.
God did. That's what you mentioned in the first pod. This was your word, the affinity to build slowly.
Yes.
And that has stuck to me, since then.
The affinity to build slowly and to be present. Just sitting down at the dinner table with you and your wife tonight.
Yeah.
These are, and your daughter, these are moments that you don't want to miss.
Right.
And just being present and enjoying it. We're sitting down talking about this podcast. Our children will see this in 20 years, and who knows what God has for them.
For them.
Yes.
Through this.
But if we don't do today
Right.
with fervor and grace and presence, we're doing tomorrow a disservice. And I don't want to do tomorrow a disservice because I'm stuck.
Now that's a bar.
Yeah. It's something I know I'm working on.
The point that you talked about going into this, about the relationships and about whether you're a man or a woman, start. Well, I don't know what camera is the one. Please start today. You don't have to come to iGuru Solutions. You can go to LegalZoom.com yourself.
Yes.
Start something, please.
Yes.
Start building something. If you need help, we're here for a resource. Creative Collections is here for a resource. Your family's here for a resource. Start today. Like whatever it is, you can be writing it down in your iPads. You can start meditating. You can start praying. You can start talking with whether it is your pastor, your counselor, whoever it is. But don't do tomorrow a disservice by not starting today, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The future of our communities depend on it. The future of our churches, the future of our schools, and so forth and so on. Yeah. I think that's what this podcast is about tonight. Is let's fall in love with building again, man.
Yeah. Because even sometimes, a lot of times, people wait for the perfect moment to start. There's not going to be a perfect moment.
There is no perfect moment.
It is today. Because even thinking about my own story, I started my company under the name Rhythm Creative Lab, because I was heavily into dance, heavily into music at that point in my life. And as things changed, I changed the name, Creative Collection. And a lot of times, people would not start until they have the bigger vision of what it's going to be. Yeah. And in not starting, I would have wasted 7 years because I changed the name last year.
Yeah.
I would have wasted 7 years of not doing anything until I got the main thing. And I feel like people wait for the name.
Yeah.
Let me build this website. Let me get my socials looking right. Let me take this picture for the branding.
No such thing.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just start.
Just do it. And And a lot of that has to do with what is status quo, and there's a lot that goes into that. I mean, we work under a lot of high-level psychologists that can probably give us the answers for these things. But there's reasons. The education system, media, propaganda, so forth and so on. Step out of that. You have to step out of that. You have to detox in some way and regain access to your righteous mind and not letting your actions be dictated on what someone else is going to think, what someone else is going to say. Not saying be antisocial and not aware of what's going on around you, but you can't allow the possibility of someone else's thought to deter what you're going to do.
Yeah.
I don't care if I have 10 quote unquote followers or 15,000.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
Yeah.
That has no bearing on the quality of the service that I provide to the community or the quality of what we put out into the space.
Yeah, it's just true. So build that thing, whatever it is, start today. Tony Robbins says, I think either Tony Robbins or Dane Graciosi, one of them says this, but sometimes we overlook what we could do in a year and underlook what could happen in 5 years.
That's wild. Weren't we just talking about we were talking about 5-year plan. What was it, about a week or so ago?
We were?
Yeah, on our date night.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah.
So we do check-ins. I probably need to be a little more consistent with them. But
You said it, I did it.
and like I was saying, my point about giving answers. Okay, I hear this a lot.
Yeah.
And this could be because I need to clean up my algorithm a little bit. I don't know. But I hear a lot of, I need this type of woman. Or I need this. You sure you need that type of, you get a certain type of woman. Have you ever given anyone, has anyone seen your credit report before? Yeah. Like there's different levels to this, so like sure. be careful. Be careful what you ask for. Yeah. If you struggled with turning in weekly homework in school, you think you're gonna get by without having date nights and stuff like that with a certain. You think you're gonna get? This can go left real quick. This can go left.
Just be prepared. Be prepared what you ask for.
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't think what you ask for is what you need to be preparing for. You need to be growing.
Right.
If I'm always focused on, oh Lord, I want a Rolls Royce. For what?
Yeah.
To stunt. That's what they want.
To stunt. Yeah, no. I think we focus a lot on, or we hear or see a lot of focus on the prayer and not the purpose. Isaiah, I'm talking to myself. Focus on the purpose. Focus on the purpose, and then the prayer will reveal itself.
Exactly.
Even to the point of where you'll be shocked.
Right.
When I met Tatyana, I was like, man, like, am I ready to pursue somebody right now? What do I need to do to prepare?
Right.
Like, and God's like, go talk to her. Tell her what your intentions are. Like, Will Smith, he gives this example of when he auditioned for Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Have you seen that?
I think so. Yep.
And he was talking about how they were all in the house, and it wasn't even a setting. It wasn't an audition setting.
Yep.
And everyone's in the house, and Quincy Jones comes to him and says, hey, what you think about auditioning for this? He's like, well, I need like 30 days. Right?
You're like, yeah, right now.
And then he explains to him. And I think that's more or less how God works.
Yeah.
It's like, preparation is going to meet opportunity or the lack thereof.
Right.
But if you're focused on the day-to-day and you're focused on that preparation,
once the opportunity comes.
I don't think anyone is ever going to be feel that they're 100% prepared.
Sure.
But I think you might have a better chance.
Yeah.
I think you might have a better chance.
Totally. Oh man, it's been great.
It's been awesome, man.
Yeah, thank
great
you
sitting with you
for
guys.
having us.
Appreciate y'all, blessing us with your wisdom,
Why do you say this, man?
Bro,
we have no wisdom.
Man. Yeah, you do.
We have no wisdom.
Yeah, we do.
No, bro, this is for the algorithm. We have no wisdom. This is a podcast of regular people with 9 to 5s
Regular
that is trying to
folks.
figure it out on a daily basis. I ain't got no $1 million in cash in the trunk that I just showed Akin and
I saw it though.
no, that's not the vibe that we ever want to intend to give
not at
off.
all.
We're strictly stating what our experiences are and where we are in our journey.
Yeah, trying to figure everything out.
Trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Exactly what it is. Even Matt mentioned something. We're filming this episode.
Love you, Matt.
It's always back in all the BTS you guys see. My
Matt
guy
Duarte.
Matt, killing it.
Matt
Killing
Duarte.
It. So
remember the name, Matt Duarte.
Yeah, it's building something too.
Yes.
We've been talking about this. But you mentioned something on Friday with Sabrina, and we were filming her pod, and you said something like, always, before you really got into my inner circle, you always thought Akin was an expert, And then you come in and you see that Akin still makes mistakes every day. I make mistakes.
Yeah.
It might seem some kind of way to other people, the quality. Obviously, I do work on that.
Yeah.
A lot. I make sure that whatever I put out is of quality.
Yes.
But that doesn't come without mistakes.
Yes.
There's always mistakes.
Yes, sir.
Involved in everything.
Yes, sir.
There is nothing that I've done that is 100% perfect
Okay.
ever, and it's never gonna be perfect.
Ditto. Likewise. And I think we will all benefit from growing more and more comfortable with the reality that we're not perfect and we make mistakes and we're nothing without God.
Yeah.
And let's handle it to the best of our ability on a daily basis.
Right.
Stay in good relationship with those that are close to you. Try to maintain healthy relationships and keep it pushing.
Keep it pushing. Even Paul says it, right? I boast not in what I've done, but in my weaknesses.
Yes.
And that way God is glorified when things actually take off.
Yes.
This could only happen because of God's goodness and grace.
Furthermore, I feel sorry for people that think they have achieved success by achieving a certain trophy, whether it is money or a house or a car or a role, that I will go off on a limb and trust that when I look back on this in 20 years, that I didn't sound like an idiot. I will go out on a limb and say that is not success. And that's never going to be what we're going for.
Yeah.
And on the record, I'm success right now.
Period.
So whether someone decides to patronize or, engage, we love to help.
Yeah.
We'd love to utilize what God has placed within us to help serve the space or serve others. But if that's not where God is leading you, please don't come.
Yeah.
Please don't engage.
Yeah. Yeah.
We love everybody to death.
Right. And we were even talking about this earlier, is everything that I am or everything that I've gone through has come to this point.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that a 12-year-old moving from Nigeria to the United States would be able to accomplish what he has by the grace of God. He did in you.
Yeah.
And taking my journey from creative music, dance, into the psychology field, master's in psychology.
Yeah.
And then creating a business out of that, but using my creative gift to be able to use that and pull everything together for it to function and push me into the next thing that we're about to unveil pretty soon. I don't want to say much into it yet until it's ready, but like only God knew that
Bro.
was gonna happen.
And you're just scratching the surface. You're just scratching literally scratching the surface. And I trust that that's the same for everyone.
Yeah.
Just get on your journey, and God's the one that's cooking everything up.
Yeah.
So all your
Let him
experiences, let him cook. Yeah. All your experiences, all your perceived failures or successes, all of that is his plan. So just trust the process.
Just trust the
You got
process.
anything else to say?
And last words?
Well, thank you for having me on. I know I'm definitely a little camera shy, but it wasn't too bad.
That's not bad at all.
So thank you. This
Thank
has
you.
been very nice to just sit and chat and welcoming us in your home.
Of course. Thank you guys for being here.
This looks great, by the way.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yes.
Making some tweaks here and there.
This is awesome.
That's
man.
always me. I never stay complacent in the same thing. Like, oh, I did it. That's it. Keep moving
That's why I
forward.
need people
Yeah.
like you in my life, man. Because I'll be like, all right, it's fixed.
Great. You gotta nudge him a little bit.
What updates do I need to make it modern? Okay, all right. But you're always
I'm
moving.
always moving. My
Todd's
head's
the
always
same way.
moving.
Yeah.
Like I'm always seeing something. I'm like, how can I
like that.
incorporate that into what I'm already doing or what I have?
Yeah.
You know,
I
and
can't
just-
rest.
Yeah,
Well, I'm sure your wife loves that.
she does.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's a workout for me though, because Tatyana's a lot like you in that
Yeah.
sense, and it keeps me on my whenever I try to take a
You're like, hey, what about this?
Let's
But-
roll this back.
but yo,
Let's
my-
roll the tape.
My wife is like that too, though, in a different way.
yeah.
It's like, for me, it's more like, okay, I have this in my head. Like, listen to it real quick. What do you think? You know, like, either like new ideas like sparking. And then for her, it's more like, hey, we got to do, like, I just sit down. It's like, we got to clean this. We got to move this up. We got to rearrange this. I'm just like, you know, so she is like detailed to the T. She's probably more detailed than I am. I'm more of like the big vision,
Okay.
you know, kind
Macro?
of person. Yeah. And she's more like the little details. She's the ones that's always telling me like, don't say that. Say this instead. Try this instead.
Okay.
Like you guys think like Akin is Akin, but my wife is back
It's
there.
a whole production.
It's a whole thing. You know, I wouldn't be Akin without her for sure.
So
That's
so
awesome.
so that was that intro her or you? Was it both of y'all?
It's just a ghostwriter.
No.
I thought Drake was dead.
Oh,
He's still.
We're keeping that. Don't edit that out.
Nah. So a lot of things that I say, right, I write it down and then I practice with her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Before
Y'all got a whole formula now.
yeah, man.
Systematic.
You know, like, and I feel like there's a certain, obviously God made her the way she is because He knew the way I was gonna be, you know, and
Adriana, you have to be on the next one.
tell her,
Please. Say it
You
nice.
have to, please.
please.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah, man. So like, I write something out, I show it to her. There's times she's like, "What about this?" Then I'm just like, I don't want to go back and change it, but then I do, you know. So yeah, there's a lot of like tweaking in the back that you guys don't see, and
man.
yeah,
But the product is the end result is great.
It's
So
so necessary to have someone like that.
Yeah.
we need our significant others.
definitely. Even coming in this room, like tweaks that she made in there, like put this plant here instead of there, you
Yeah.
know, kind of thing. You know, she
That
gave me
touch.
wipes to be able to wipe the mic. Little things that I wouldn't think about.
Yeah.
That she, you know, deems necessary.
That was one of the confirmations for me. So I went on a trip one time. And this woman, she had the wipes and every. I was like, oh my God. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything because I was trying to play it cool. But I got in that airport. I was like, what the heck?
What did I get myself into?
Oh, this is real deal right here. All right. I guess I'll have to start
Yeah, bro.
accelerating saving for this ring.
Every hotel we go to, bro, wipes everything down.
Yeah.
Make sure that,
Hey man.
make sure we're good.
It's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. We end this with saying, Go build something.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're gonna find the person that is gonna walk with you and build the vision that God has purpose within you. Don't wait. Start today. If you need help, we're here. And subscribe to the channel if you listen to it. If you listen to it on Apple Podcast, Spotify, leave a review. Let people know that this is something that you've gained value.
Can we talk about that a little bit? I'm
course.
sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
go for it.
No, we're going to address this.
Oh,
if you watch
Lord.
this episode, comment, like the episode. It helps the algorithm. This
Yes.
has nothing to do with somebody being cool or ego. None of this stuff like that. If you're watching it, like and comment.
Yeah.
Please, just let us know what you thought. If you got anything out of it. If you didn't get anything out of it.
Yep.
It's helpful. If you're not watching this, you're not hearing this message.
Right.
But if you are hearing this message, like and comment. All right?
Yeah.
We love everybody. I'm sorry.
Yes, we do.
that was
Nah,
like
that
one
was
of those
good.
those clips after the end of the Avengers
I'll put it at
movie.
the front.
There's like a roll credit.
After all the
and
roll
it's like
credits,
squiggly
yeah.
lines.
Yeah.
PSA.
Now, I'm gonna put this at the front.
Yeah, we
Of the
got to
episode.
stop all this. Like everyone relax. No,
Yeah.
we are not that important.
Yeah.
Just like if you're
Just like
watching
it.
it, just like it. Or don't like it.
Yeah.
There's a dislike button too.
Right. Facts. Yeah. Leave a comment. Share it
Okay.
with people around you that would gain value from this, because
Yes.
this is a very valuable conversation that we're having, especially if you want to build something that you can sustain for 20, 30, 40 years today. So do yourself a great service and do that. Build something today. Start today. And like we always end this episodes, go create, because you've been created to create. Peace.